No one in San Antonio was claiming sidewalk chalk was illegal graffiti until y'all did on News 4 SA, which endangers myself and others in the community for participating in a pastime that goes back as far as the 16th century when street artists would draw religious icons with the ephemeral medium. Y'all waited until after Epps had violently cuffed me and cited me, Gomez arrested me and locked me up 20 hours, Rangel cursed at me and threatened me with arrest, Lieja cited me. It wasn't until then y'all started calling chalk illegal graffiti, which is interesting because the only time a department has ever tried to actually charge me with graffiti for sidewalk chalk, that city's taxpayers had to pay a $16,500 settlement. I create public art with children's washable sidewalk chalk as a means of legally spreading positivity in an often sad and unfair world. I use chalk because it is the most affordable and accessible art supply I've come across to make an impact and spread positivity. Like many people, art is my therapy. When left alone by law enforcement, I can create geometry, math, poetry, graphs, chemistry, and educational art ideas in the street. I mostly draw circles because then, even if I'm interrupted by threat of being caged, at least the art piece doesn't look sloppy and unfinished. Us millennials grew up with the Columbine shooting followed by the Twin Towers falling only 2 years later. Changes were made to prevent another tragedy like September 11th, and 23 years later, nothing like it has happened again. But school shootings have almost become normal. 85 shootings between the 2000s, 265 in the 2010s, and already 210 not even halfway through the 2020s. Here in San Antonio, 2 middle schoolers arrested this week for threats to shoot up schools, while Appalachia High is in the news for their recent shooting, and Uvalde is in news after officers fight against charges related to 376 of them doing nothing as 19 children were slain by a teenager. There is an issue here with guns and with mental health. I'm not in a position to do anything about the guns. I'm not trying to get shot pissing off the wrong extremist. I think activities like sidewalk chalk are positive. San Antonio Fear-Free Environment Unit for SAPD and police departments across the country frequently use sidewalk chalk as building positive public relations with communities. During the recent pandemic, many people use sidewalk chalk as a means of spreading positivity while following social distancing and graffiti laws. It was a common story in local news across the country. I find it quite perplexing that guns have so much freedom despite the continual school shootings and violence, yet somehow sidewalk chalk gets a quicker police response.
Thank you, Joshua.